Hi everyone, today we are making a new soap. I'm using my leftover soap. First thing that you have to do, you take your shredder and the bowl, whatever you're using. I have shredded most of my leftover soap. So it's very easy. So I will just take my shredder and I'm going to start shredding the soap. I'm using the smaller side, not the bigger side. The bigger side is too big, so I'll be using the smaller side. So what you're going to do, you pick one of your soap, you start shredding the soap. And when you make a soap, when it's a little bit dry, you take your shredder, you just shred the edges of the soap to make it look neat. Instead of throwing those little pieces of soap away, you just have to keep it in a clean and nice place. And it's very useful when you're going to make the soap that I'm about to show you how to make today. So I will just keep on shredding my leftover pieces of soap. Once I am done, I will show you how it look. I'm going to fast forward some part of it because if I don't, it takes too much long time. I will show you now how it will look once you have done shredded, and so this is how the pieces will look. The next thing that I'm going to do, I am going to measure my water. Before you measure your water or your lye or your oil, make sure to always zero your scale. So I will go ahead now and measure my water. Once I'm done with the measurement, I'll put it aside, and then we can now measure our lye. The next thing that I'm going to do, I am going to measure my lye, and I've also zeroed my scale. I'll go ahead and start measuring my lye. Once I am done with that, I'll put it aside, and then we can now come back here and mixing the lye and the water together. The next thing that I'm about to do, I am going to start mixing my lye. So I'm going to pour the lye inside the water, not the other way around. If you do it the other way around by pouring the water inside the lye, it's very dangerous. It will explode. Pour the lye inside the water and start mixing. Once I am done with that, I will pour it inside that bottle container, lock it and keep it in a safe place. Before you start mixing your lye, make sure you have your goggles on, your hand gloves, your face mask, and if you're going to be wearing sleeve, make sure you wear a sleeve so that it doesn't burn your skin or when it's spilled. Make sure that your child is not there, your pet is not there, they are far away from you before mixing the lye. And also read the safety of lye. So go ahead and start mixing your lye. The next thing that I'm going to do, I am going to measure my extra virgin oil, and I've also zeroed my scale. That is my shea butter that I have melted and putting inside that bucket that I'm going to use to make the soap. So I will go ahead, measure my oil. Once I get the measurement, I will add it inside that bucket that I'm going to use to make the soap, and then we'll start measuring the rest of the oil that we are going to use for the soap making. The next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to measure my coconut oil. Once I am done with that, and I will also add it on the bucket that I'm going to use to make the soap. Once I am done with that, I will also go ahead and measure my castor oil, and I will also add it on the bucket that I'm going to use to make the soap. The next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to measure my essential oil. I'm using cederwood essential oil. Once I get the measurement, I'll lock it inside that little bottle that you see right there and keep it in a safe place, and then we can now start mixing the soap together. So we are about to start mixing the soap. I have my lye there, my essential oil. I have my filter that I'm going to use to filter my lye. I have my titanium dioxide. I'm going to add a little bit of titanium dioxide on the soap making. I have my temperature. So what I'm going to do, I will just open my lye and check the temperature of the lye and also check the temperature of the oil. Once I am done with that, I will just go ahead and start filtering the lye. Once I done filter the lye, then we start mixing the soap. So we are about to start mixing the oil and the lye together. Before you start mixing them, make sure you tap your blender a little bit at the bottom so that the bubbles goes out, and then you go ahead and start mixing the oil and the lye together. So I'm going to add a little bit of titanium dioxide. So I will just add a little bit on the soap. Once I am done, I will just start blending the soap all over again. The next thing that I'm about to do, I am going to add my essential oil. You just go ahead, open your essential oil and add it on your soap making. Once you have done that, you also go ahead and blend the essential oil and your soap together properly. So normally what I do, I use my blender to turn it around a little bit before start blending the essential oil and my soap together. The next thing that I'm about to do, I am sharing the soap into two places. So because I am going to add my shred soap that I've already shred at the beginning when we start making this tutorial. So I will add a little bit on that bowl and then mix it together and see how I feel about it. Then I can add more on the bowl and use my spatula and mix them all over again. The next thing that I'm about to do, I take my mold. I'm going to pour the soap inside my mold. Once I am done pouring it inside my mold, I'll put it aside and then mix the second batch, just the same way we mix the first batch. The next thing that I'm about to do, I pour a little bit of the soap on a bowl so that I can use it to cover the top edge of the soap making. So I will just go ahead, pour it on the soap. Once I am done with that, I will take my spoon and make a design. It's not so fancy design. It just, I'm going to make a design like match the top of the soap. Once I am done with that, I will go ahead and cover the soap and let it sit for 24 hours. Then we can now come back here and mold the soap. It has been 24 hours. We are going to unmold the soap right now. So I'll put that aside and start pulling out my soap out from the mold, and we can put it on a soap cutter and start cutting the soap. You can see that there is a paper on my soap cutter, so that it's easy to just slice it through and it doesn't mess with the soap. I'll just go ahead and start cutting the soap. Once I am done with that, I'll take my other soap cutter to cut it into pieces, and then I will show you how it finally look. Please support us by subscribing, thumbs up on our video, make a comment down below if you have any question. If our video have helped you in any way, thumbs up on our video. Thank you so much for watching and have a beautiful day. Bye.